I started in NEDA in '76. So I served. I was fortunate to have worked with President FVR during his term as president, particularly working representing NEDA in the Presidential Flagship Committee that was chaired by the late Governor Lito Osmeña. The president, I remember him for being really a great leader and a great person, but more than those adjectives, he was a visionary person, but who had his feet on the ground. No? And we attribute all these earth-shaking, game-changing reforms in the power sector, in the telecommunications, water sector. And sabi ko, this is the president that we needed. Remember the battle cry was Philippines 2000? And he had all of this, I think his background and his heart, he had the heart in the right place. No? That's why we were able to move the country to greater heights. Remember, he came in, we had these 18-hour power outages. He had to do something quick and eventually changed also caused the reforms of the other sectors because we were a bit of a closed economy run by monopolies, very inefficient. He said this is not the way to move the Philippines. Very, very high because number one, his brand was completed staff work. In other words, hindi pwede shabby, just give him something. He wants to make sure that it is well studied, but not studied to death. And he was also somebody who valued people working dedicatedly in government service. That's why we were high in terms of morale. And he was a leader by example. He would wake up very early. He would send us his clippings with red pen, the assignments that he gives. And we were very happy working with him, not only because he was a good leader, but he was also showing results on the ground.
Kayo pala sumabay dun sa first day 2. You opted to join the public viewing instead.
Because I'm now a public private person, retired undersecretary 2 years ago when I turned 65. So I thought this was the best time to come for me, quiet time, and meeting Astro and et al. No? And we had a more intimate conversation. So he will surely be missed. Great leader that we have, and the country, therefore, was very fortunate to have him. So even after his term, when we would meet in mga national days of different countries, his brand of greeting you is to give you a very tight handshake, and he would call me Mr. NEDA, although he knows me as Rolly. Then the second thing after doing a handshake is he will put his finger into his eyeglasses na walang lens. So that was him. And he's a very jolly fellow, a good man.
Sir, if you are to be asked, how do you want the public in general to remember your former boss?
He was a staunch believer of the Filipinos. Di ba, lagi niyang sinema, kaya natin ito. So he was inspiring leader, but who would also show the way. No, not just give instructions, but also be there in his humble and working style. He was really the right person at the right time. Remember the challenges coming post 86? He was the one who no one else could have done it as better. So, salamat.